Welcome to another episode of Kicking It with Dodger. I am your host, my homeboy Dodger. That's at my homeboy Dodger. And I'm here with first of all, my homeboy. That's my friend. I'm glad to call him that. I'm right here with the Southside's own Pkayy. What's going on, homie?
What's the deal, Pop?
Nothing much, dog. So, first and foremost, just thank you for coming out and kicking it with me.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
You already know it's love. We have a mutual friend that speaks very highly of you. Shout out to my brother Largo. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Lars, that's the boy.
That's my brother right there. So, we're here with a very I don't know how to describe you, fool, because they know if they see your face, they know you, whether it be from music or some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I know you probably seen his face on a bunch of the hood vlogs, maybe like them hood channels that be reporting on hood news and stuff like that. So I'm glad to have you over, but first and foremost, I just want to give you your flowers, dog. You've been working really hard, and like staying out of trouble is that's the biggest thing that I want to commend you on, because I know we had a couple hiccups the past years. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say, dog, I'm proud of you for staying out of trouble and working and doing all that good stuff. Now it's time to turn up the music. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, where'd you grow up, fool?
I grew up in the city of Bell.
In the city of Bell? How does your family end up in Bell?
My family got there in the late 80s, and then I was born in the 90s. I've been there ever since, and then I got busted in 2016?
So can you tell me about your house growing up, fool? How many siblings you got?
I got two brothers. And I got a sister. Yeah, shout out to them. But I got a little brother. I got an older brother. My older brother, he's from a different neighborhood, but he was always like a father figure to me. I grew up without a dad, so I was never around. My brother was, but my brother got deported when I was probably like 10 or 11, so I've been by myself, and then that's where I met the homies. Later, a couple years later, I met the homies, got into my hood, and they showed me brotherhood, they were like the older brother models for me and shit, so that's what it was right there.
When you were younger, the homies were already on that side?
No, they weren't. It's crazy how that works. Before I got into my neighborhood was in the city of Maywood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, now we're in Bell, Maywood, Bell Guardians. But they were mostly in Maywood, and another neighborhood was around that area where I was growing up. But honestly, my neighborhood is the one that showed a lot of love. So I chose to get into my neighborhood for all the love that they showed, and I don't regret it. I love my gang. I love the hood. So that's what it was with them.
What music was your mom playing when you were young, fool?
We had talked about this the last time. She used to listen to a lot of Los Bookies type shit. You know what I mean? Every weekend, wake up in the morning, cleaning to Los Bookies and shit.
Fabuloso and Los Bookies.
That's the, you know what I mean?
That's how you know you're home?
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I say too. But mine was Selena, fool.
Okay, yeah.
Cause I was like right around the time Selena was popping when I was like super young. Yeah. So it was me and Selena, fool. Yeah. Selena, dog.
My sister, she was a big fan of Selena. Shout out my sister. She used to love Selena. So when she passed away, she was heartbroken like a mother.
And how's your house? How's your mom growing up? She was
hardworking. She was she wasn't absent, bro. It's just that she had to work a lot. She was a single mom,
Yeah.
She was hardly ever home because she had to work, provide, put food on the table, So there was a lot of times where my mom was never home, and that's where I started to rebel, you don't have nobody there to be checking up on you or telling you not to do this, not to do that, So.
And I think it's a lot it has to do with boredom, food, because at that point you're just like, I'm gonna go outside, big dog. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's what ends up happening. Were you were you on Silvertooth activities, fool? Were you a sick Aiden when you were little, fool?
Hey, believe it or not, I did my 2 front teeth were silver. all the way up to the point where I was like 9. I was a Silvertooth kid. I had the 2 front teeth silver.
Fool, bad as fuck.
I wouldn't say that bad, but I was pretty bad, I guess. The stereotype on the silver teeth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dog.
Nah, I wasn't that bad, you know. But probably when I started getting older, like middle school and shit, that's when I started to really rebel and shit, you know.
You
But
remember anything specific that might have made you like an angry middle schooler as opposed to an angry like fuck
I don't know. I was just
elementary school student?
probably just getting picked on a lot. You know what I mean? And then when I was in middle school, a bunch of the kids I used to go to school with, they were already starting to experiment with drugs like that. I
Yeah.
never been the type to be peer pressured, you know. So there was certain drugs that motherfuckers try to get in somebody to do, you know, and I wouldn't do that. So like that's where the picking would start, you know. They start, you're scared or you're a pussy, whatever, you know. So that's where it's like, what, you know, you start getting down with motherfuckers just because you don't want to do what they're doing. I never been a follower. I never fell under peer pressure, none of that. So that's mostly where it started. I used to box when I was a kid too. Like that's what got me into boxing. Like just always having motherfuckers kind of pick on you or whatever, you know. So I boxed for like 3 years, and then like
That's why you want to go box to learn how to throw some hands?
yeah, that's what it
Hey,
was.
that's feedback,
That's what it
no?
was. Yeah, and then I ain't never been busted as a juvenile. Never been busted as a juvenile. Thank God, you know. But
A lot of fucking OTs or what?
a lot of OTs. Hell yeah, I went to like 4 or 5 different high schools, bro.
I know how that one is.
All
Mine was
over
more
there.
in middle school than high school. I got a
Okay,
gang of
okay.
OTs from middle
Oh
school.
shit. Yeah, you started off hella young, huh?
Wait. All right. When you're in high school, fool, like, when do you really? What are you like in high school? And do you start experimenting with music?
I did actually. Well, when I was in high school, like I said, I was getting kicked out of every school that I would go to. I started in Bell High School. I got kicked out of Bell High School. Then I went to Huntington Park High School. I got kicked out of Huntington Park High School.
You're a Spartan for like 2 months,
Not
fool.
even 2 months, bro. Probably like, not even a month. I think probably like 2 weeks, bro. Like,
Serio?
yeah, like 2 weeks. I had just got there and right away just.
Ah,
I
yeah.
used to be a tagger, that's why. So like I started off tagging, and then like all that brought all the drama or whatever, you know. So then
Yeah.
once I really started getting into some bullshit with a bunch of tagging crews, it's just like if I'm gonna be living this life, like might as well gangbang, you know what I mean? Because all this is bullshit. At the end of the day, you know, like this shit is weak, you know. So when I got into my neighborhood, that's when it really started cracking off, you know. But
When do you start Did you start experimenting with music in high school?
Okay,
When does
so-
when's the first time you put your voice to like beat, fool?
okay, so when I was in high school, after getting kicked out of all the schools in my area, they sent me all the like Pico Rivera because they're like, this dude is just in the area, so this is where the trouble's at, this area. So they sent me to Pico, and I went to El Rancho High School. So when I went to El Rancho, I was one of the
Why all the badass kids go to El
Hey,
Rancho?
that's
though?
crazy. Yeah. No, I met a lot of people there too. I wasn't the only OT that landed.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
what I'm saying, yeah.
So me and like two other OTs that landed there, a dude from Southgate and a dude from the IE, I think. He had just moved down, so he started school right there. We kind of like stuck together, you know. And the homie from the IE, he lived like down the street from the school. He had his own garage studio. I didn't even know that. So since we were kicking it, one time we went to his pad just to hang out, you know, smoke, whatever. And I seen he had a studio in his garage, you know, and he used to fuck around with like beats, shit like that, you know. So
Oh, he used to make the
yeah,
beats.
he used to do all that shit, and I didn't even know that. Like he didn't mention that at all until we got to his pad. I was like, what the, you got all this equipment right here, and he was like, oh yeah, I do this, I do that. So then like just around, like he was just like, oh get on the mic, you know. So he'll put a beat and I'll fuck around on the mic a little bit, you know, and that's where I started like liking that shit, you know. And that was before I started gangbanging, you know. I was probably like 14, 15. So then
Super activated
Yeah.
traps.
not yet. It was more like just about growing up and I don't really have any stories yet, you know. Like yeah, little tagging fights or whatever, little tagging, you know, but not really nothing like that. So like I'll fuck around on the mic, it'll be cool or whatever, and then I ended up getting kicked out of that school too. So when I got kicked out of that school, I just stopped going over there. And then that's when I got into my neighborhood. I ended up getting sent back to Bell High School, but the continuation school on the side.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that's where I met the homies and you know, it just cracked off.
When did you start taking music? I know I'm probably jumping, but that's probably from this last pen visit.
Before
Like
that.
serious, like serious.
Serious? Yeah, for sure. When I got out this recent time, that's when I really started taking it serious.
Okay, so but with that, because I got a couple questions to ask, right? First of all, for why they call you Pkayy, big dog?
Okay, so let's get that out the way because a lot of people get that misunderstood, you know. So a lot of people think, oh, Pkayy, P killer or whatever,
Yeah.
or a lot of motherfuckers think I'm like dissing their neighborhood or whatever. It's not that. My nickname from my hood starts with a P, and then obviously my hood starts with a K. You know, so that's what it is. For the people that do know me for real, like know me on a personal level, they know what my nickname is. If you know, you know, you know.
Yeah.
But P is my nickname, and then K is the hood. You know, so that's what it was.
What's going on, fool? Without telling me too much, dog. Before you get sent to the pen for the first time.
Like I said, I grew up with a single mom, you know, so at that point it's like kind of try to figure out how you could help your mom out with the house, you know, like try to like make your own money so the expenses don't go too bad on her, you know, that way she could still just focus on the
Yeah.
house, the food on the table, all that, you know what I mean? Growing up, I didn't grow up with any money, you know, I grew up pretty poor, you know, and that's another thing, like going to school, that's another reason why I would get picked on, you know, I didn't have no Jordans on my shoes, I didn't have no designer clothes, none of that shit. My clothes would be from like Fallas Paredes or
Yeah.
Payless, you know,
La
shit
Ross,
like that. You know,
fool.
like I had Shacks, you
Yeah,
know what I
dog.
mean? Airwalks, all that shit. You know, so I go to school and motherfuckers be looking fly as hell, but I got some Airwalks on or I got some Shacks or whatever, you know, and then that's where the clowning would start. That's where the picking would start. And, you know, like it takes you to the point where you're just like, man, fuck all these shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna just start punching on everybody, you know? So
Yeah, way.
that's what it was, pretty much.
And what caused you to go to the pen for the first time without giving too much? Remember, you already did your time,
Right,
so
right.
you know what I'm saying. But without giving too much, what causes the pen trip?
Well, for my first term, I was just up, bro. Like I said, I was just out there. I was doing my thing. I was making my little money or whatever, you know. But at that time, we're talking about 2016. That's when like all that pill popping shit started popping. You know what I mean? Like you got OGZ and them rapping about that shit. So all the pill shit is like in
It's
style at that
up,
time.
yeah.
Yeah. So I started popping them bars, you know, and then without knowing shit has happened, you know, and the charge that I got charged with was a discharge of a firearm, you know, with gross negligence. They lowered it down to that, so thank God, you know. But yeah, that was my first charge right there. That's what I went to prison for. The first time I had just turned 18. So, like I said, I ain't never been busted as a juvenile, but the first time I did get busted, straight to the pen, you know. So that's what that was right there.
What was it like hitting MCJ for the first time?
That shit was crazy, bro. That shit was crazy. I actually met I don't know if you ever heard of that dude, Stomper from Pico Nuevo, the rapper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so when I
Rest
first
in peace.
rest in peace,
Yeah.
yeah, rest in peace to homie. When I first my first term when I landed in the county, we landed together. I didn't even know who he was. I used to listen to a little bit of his shit when I was younger, but not really like that, you know, cause it's a different style of music that what I was into, you know. So when I landed in the county, we landed together, and I just remember him telling me like over and over that he's a rapper or whatever. I didn't really think nothing of it. I was just like, yeah, whatever, you know. So then after I did my time, I got out. I searched him up, and then I found out who he was, and I was like, oh, like
No, and a good homie
yeah, he
too.
was a good ass. No, he took care of me a lot. He like
Yeah.
he taught me the ropes being in there because he knew it was my first time. So we stuck together through the whole process. Like we landed in the same pod, everything, you know. So he took care of me through the whole thing. Like that's a real solid homie right there. Rest in peace, homie Stomper.
Yeah, I even like outside of music, all just his dealings. Like
Right.
I just heard he was just like a real good
Hell
dude,
yeah.
real good homie, real solid camarada. You know
Hell
what I
yeah.
mean? Um, and I think that's a theme, full of you. Like not to sound funny or nothing, fool, but I think that's a theme of you being busted, just running into people, kind of
Yeah.
go showing where your destiny really is with this music.
Exactly.
So I know it wasn't this time, but how well? Okay, before we get into that one. Did you run into Chito on the first one or the second one?
No, on the second one, I ran into him on the second one. We were in the county together.
Yeah, okay. So with that, no, I still want to be on that. So kind of cuz were you dropping music prior to the first pen trip?
Nah.
Okay, I know when you came out, then you started linking up. Who did music? Who started putting music out like first? Was it you or Fatal?
It was on. Honestly, it was at the same time, bro. At the
Yeah.
same time, yeah, cause I met Fatal like 2020. I met him in 2020, and then that's when I started getting it in my head that I wanted to do music. So when I met him, we had that in common. So we started doing it together and shit.
When did you come home from the pen the first time?
The first time I got busted late 2016, and I came out the beginning January 2018.
January 2018. Then what was your transition into the free world?
Man, it was cool because man, like I said, I had never been busted before in my life, you know. So going through everything that I went through on my first term, I went through a lot of shit. Like this recent term, it was cool, you know. It was nothing major, but my first term, like man, that shit was crazy as you know. Like I went through a lot of shit. So when I was finally out, like it felt good to be out, but I was still young as you know, like I had just turned 21, I think. You know, I got busted when I was 18. I was just about to turn 21 when I got out. So like I was still like thugging or whatever, you know, like
Super activated.
like I'm not done yet, you know. And I remember being busted. I was like, man, when I get out, I'm gonna try to like, you know, do good or whatever. And of course I did. I got out and I was good. I was good for like 5-6 years, bro. I didn't go back for like 5-6 years. I was doing my thing. I had a good job. I was making my money, you know, still out there doing what I gotta do. And then I end up again and catch another case. And so
So when you come out, you meet Fatal in 2020. Were you doing music prior to like no?
no,
The you fools kind of got together and just and got on a mission.
yeah, that's what that
How
was.
does that work out?
It was cool. We were doing good.
No, like how does it work out? Like who tells who? Like, hey, fool.
Like I said, it was like a mutual thing, you know. Like, well, I had the idea first, but
And then he was like down after.
yeah, well, we'll kick it and he'll just start freestyling, you know? Like, we'll put on a
Yeah.
beat or whatever and he'll start freestyling. And I already had that in my head, you know? So I was like, man, we should just start doing this, you know? And he was like, hell yeah, let's do it. So that's where we kind of started off right there, where I had the idea, but he was the one always just busting freestyles, you know? Like, we'll
Yeah.
just be posted, pop on a beat and he'll just start rapping, you know? So that's when I was like, hell yeah, we could do something right here, you know? So, and then he was like my motivation. That was my boy right there because there was times where I'd be like, man, what the am I doing, dog? This is a goofy ass shit, you know? But he would get me right on track, like, nah, bro, like, come on, dog, you know? Like, we can make something out of this, you know? Let's just keep going or whatever, you know? So, honestly, if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't even be doing this shit, you know what I mean? But, and then now that he's gone, you know, rest in peace to homie, it just makes me feel like I gotta go even harder now, you know? So, that's what that is.
Um. So which one was it? Keep It a Million, fool. Which one
Nah,
was the first one?
well, it was Try Me, but, that one we had just did a video for it and then we didn't put it on all platforms because I didn't buy the beat exclusive, so there's only so much you could do with it. So all we did was like a video to that one, but for that one, that's where it really got jump started, you know. Like, and to me, that's like the most cringe video I have out there, bro. You know, it's always the first one.
Yeah, fool.
Be like cringe as like I look at it to this day and I be like, why the did I even put that out? You know, what I mean? Like, that was cringe as like, but it helped though. You know, it got everybody's attention. Everybody was like, okay, this was trying to do what he's trying to do. You know, and then from there, it just kept going. You know, like I did Keep It a Million after that, and then people were just tapping in. You know, so that shit was cool. Like I honestly didn't think nothing of it. I was like, I'm gonna do this rap shit and then we'll see how it goes. You know, but for some reason, like, shout out to everybody who supports. You know, who the music and all that. Like, people be tapping in. You know, so I appreciate that to everybody who my music.
And then how does this fool Crook work into the situation? Because I know he was close with Fatal.
Yeah, that's what it was. They went to
Yeah.
school together.
Okay.
They went to
Okay.
school together. So when I met Fatal and like I said, we started like trying to get this rap going. He had told me, oh, I got a homie who's already doing his thing. And I had heard of Crook when I was younger, but
Yeah.
not really like that. I had never listened to his music or whatever. And then when the homie like introduced me to him or whatever, like he was cool, as you know. So shout out to Crook. He's a good homie right there, you know. Like
Yeah, I bring him up because honestly that's where I seen you fools.
yeah.
It was from a repost from him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Before I even knew anything, that's where I seen you fools.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to the homie. He's humble as cool people, you know.
Yeah, no, shout out Craig.
Yeah.
And then how long after till Fatal passes, fool?
I went to prison right away, bro. Like, he passed away in February of, what was it, 2020, 23? And then, like, 2 weeks later, I got busted.
Can you tell me for what?
I was already fighting a gun case. I was fighting a gun case that I had caught in the out. And then,
Oh,
like,
no, and then felon in possession of a weapon is grave.
yeah, so then when the homie passed away, like, I was going through all the emotions that I was going through or whatever. So I just started not giving a you know? Like, I was just mad. I was just doing stupid shit, you know? Drinking all the time, whatever. So then it was one night I was out doing my thing, took me in, and then after that, like, I could have bailed out if I wanted to, but at that point, it's just like, for what, you know? Like, my homeboy had just passed away. I'm not in the right state of mind. Like, I'm all fucking...
You're better suited programming right now.
Exactly. So I needed that. I really did need that. So I was just like, fuck it, it's time to program. Let's do what we gotta do, you know? So it was a bit like I was worried a little bit because I started getting ad charge when I was in the county too. Like
Oh, yeah.
they had the gun charge that I was already fighting, plus the evading and then other started coming up, but it was just minor shit, you know. So when you hear ad charge, you start thinking the worst, bro.
Yeah.
Like, damn, what the like, you know. But thank God it was nothing major, and then I got a good deal for everything. I had to pay lawyer and all that. So I got a good deal, so.
Would they end up giving you that the second time?
If I didn't have a lawyer, bro, they wanted to give me 4 years, 4 with 80, because of my prior gun charges.
Oh, yeah.
I already have 2 prior gun charges before that one, so it would have been like three gun charges in total, you know. So they wanted to give me like 4 with 80. So then I paid for a lawyer, and the lawyer lowered it down for 2.5.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, for everything, we're gonna run everything concurrent, you know.
Yeah,
so I was going to like 4 different courts, bro, for all the cases. Like I was going to CCB, I was going to Downey, East LA, and Norwalk. So I was times a month. I was going to court a lot, bro, a lot. Like every month it'd be 4 times a month, you know. So it's like, damn, that shit was stressing.
No, then I'm at that point. You're tired. Take me, fool.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. So
oh, and then probably sitting that gave you some good time. So it was a pretty good.
That's what it was too, you know, because while you're in there, you're just racking up your time, dog.
Yeah.
So by the time you go ahead and sign your deal, you're already halfway there.
So with that being said, I think I don't know if you kind of saw it. Did you see it as that? Because you started running into like some notable people, right?
Yeah.
So you ran into Cheeto, that's one of them. But you have a bar, fool, and I remember because we died laughing for like 10 minutes. Me and the homie Hazard. Yeah. He's like, I was in the county whooping. Whooping Tory Lanez and Domino's.
Yeah,
I was in Delano whooping Tory Lanez and Domino's. That shit had me dying, fool. So, what? You run into Tory Lanez and Delano? So you run into Cheeto in the county?
In the county, yeah.
Okay. Did you have any like face-to-face dealings with him, or was it just
visit? Like we would see each other at visit or whatever, you know, shake hands. That's all it was, nothing major.
Yeah.
He was a couple dorms away and shit, so I'll see him like yard or like visit.
Where did you know about the music and all that? Was everybody talking about?
I didn't even know who he was, bro. A lot of people were telling me like, oh, he's a rapper. I had never heard of him, honestly, you know. And then when I got out,
you started seeing everything.
I started seeing his music and everything. He gets off, though. He gets off.
No, shout out to the homie. Yeah.
Music.
And then what's up? How'd you start whooping Tory Lanez and Domino's, dog?
So we were in reception, like obviously the blacks and the homies, we were separated in the day room. But I remember I was playing dominoes with the homies, and Tory, he's new to the program out here. He's not from out here.
He's not from
Canada
here.
Or some shit, you know. So like he'll walk around and he didn't give a talk to anybody, you know. So he's seen us playing dominoes, and then like I just remember him like trying to like clown, like, oh man, I shoot that shit. So like we're like, we'll get in here then, you know. I was whooping all the homies, whatever. So I was like, nah, it's your turn now, you know. So of course we had to ask the blacks or whatever, hey, is it cool if he could play with us, whatever, we'll get one game in the shit, you know. And then sure enough, we got one game. I whooped him. He wanted another one. I whooped him. He walked out the table like, man, f*** this shit. Shoot that shit.
You ran him for some soups or what? At least?
Nah, I did. I should have. I should have, but nah. It was just more like just fun, just for fun. But
no, with the
shout out Tory Lanez, though. He's cool as f***. He's humble too, you know. Like he knew what it was, so that's what's up.
So running into, because I know you were doing music prior to like going in the second time, fool. Was that like in your mind, like, why am I running into these?
It was though. I was tripping out on that. Yeah, like why am I running into all these people that do music and shit like that, like.
And then even going back to your first term, fool, with Stomper.
Yeah.
You don't think that's the world trying to tell you something?
I think about it like that sometimes. I do, you know, but sometimes I try not to think about it too much. I just go with the flow, you know, because
especially in that environment.
Exactly. You know, so like it's like when they say when you talk about something too much or when you're excited about something too much, you end up jinxing it and then it doesn't happen, you know? So, of course, I would think about it like that, but then I'll just be like, just in my head, you know? Like, I just go with the flow.
Oh, that's the world telling you you're meant to do something with your life, fool, just so you know.
For sure.
So when you get out, fool, what's the second time? What's like the first thing on your mind other than getting some and a good meal?
For sure. Man, getting back to the music. That was the first thing on my mind too. Other than what you just said. But getting back to the music ASAP. Like I just wanted to get back to it because when I was busted, I was writing. A lot of music, and that song, Just Touched Down, the very first song I did that shit in prison. Like I wrote the whole thing in prison. So when I got out, all I needed was a beat. And
on the way home or in prison?
No, in prison.
Yeah, okay.
When you're in reception, you know, well, for the people that are in cell living, you know, because you got the dorms and you got the cells. I was in the cells, So you're just in there 23 hours a day. You know, you only get 1 hour to come out and have rec or whatever, you know, but you're in there 23 hours a day. What are you going to do, you know? So you're just sitting there writing, reading, just trying to, like, you know, do what you got to do and prepare yourself for when you get out. Like, I knew I was short timing it, you know, so it's like, okay, when I get
Why no
out,
time?
why no time? Why no time? It's crazy. Yeah, I heard that from my OG and that shit just stuck in my head, you know? So I was like, what the why no time? And he explained it to me, so I was like, okay.
So how do you record Just Touchdown? Like, how does that happen? Like, what's the play that what's the studio session? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
how do you get the beat? What's going on? Like, explain to
Trip,
me the process.
when I first started, bro, like I used to go to this white boy in like Barbank. Like
Yeah.
he's not into our genre type of music. Like he does like more mainstream shit.
Mhm.
But that fool would look out a lot. Like he's seen the vision that I had and he'll help out a lot, even though it wasn't his type of music. But he did it like he mixed and mastered that real good, you know, and he made it sound good as like if he really does that type of music, you know. So that was cool as like when I first started, I'll just go to that white boy, you know, like I didn't know about any other engineers. I didn't know how to tap in with anybody else, you know. I didn't know who was doing what. Like it's just
How'd you find the white boy?
how did I find them? One of the homies that was already doing music on Instagram, I tapped in with him like, hey, where do you record, bro? Like, let me go see what's up with that studio. I got something I want to record, you know. And he linked me up with him, and that's where I started, you know. But it's crazy now that I get out this time. There's so many platforms. There's so many engineers out here, you know. It's just crazy. Like now you got a variety of people you could work with, you know. And that's what I'm trying to do now is try to work with everybody, you know. Like not just stick to one person. Let's work over here. Let's work over there. You know, get your name out there and shit. And I have when it comes to beats or engineers or studio time or videographers, photographers, whatever it is, I try to work with everybody, you know. So that's what that is right there.
So when you do Just Touchdown, how do you get the video together? Because everybody knows the video, and I get that because you know it did good numbers, just the video itself. But then it gets its second turn at virality. You know what I'm saying? How does or can you explain to me like the video shoot? What'd you do? Who'd you call?
It was simple, bro. It was nothing major. Like now when I do my videos, I try to like rent out like production studios and shit like that, make that hella legit, you know.
Peer spaces and shit.
Yeah. Like that, but that one is like I had just got out. I don't really have money like that. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to get on my feet. So all it was just call a homeboy up. Hey, could we use your pad? Like get all the homies over here. You know? So that's what it was.
And then I think that's what kind of spoke to everybody's attention, right? Is the fact that it did look like you fools were just kicking it. It looked like you just got out and somebody said, "Hey, fool, we're making plates over here." Kyle, Pkayy just got out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, cool. But it looked real. It basically what I'm trying to say is nothing looked fake. Nothing looked like a gimmick. Nothing looked. You know what I'm saying?
Because at the end of the day, none of it is fake. You know
yeah,
exactly. That's really what it was. You know,
yeah,
like, the way it looks, that's what it was. You know? Like, we're all just kicking it. At the
no, but that's the people now get the millions of views for it, dog. You get what I'm saying? That organic. With that being said, big dog, you and I were talking about it. We viral, dog. You and I a little bit with your video and one of my old videos, fool.
Okay.
So some months later, probably what a year maybe later after you drop Just Touchdown, that Rap News and Street Politics drops the
Oh, that was actually like 2-3 months later, bro.
Yeah,
like right after I did that song. Yeah, I seen that they put it on their YouTube channel or whatever, you know, but it was literally like 2 months after. That's crazy.
That's what caught me off guard because you see my face in that motherfucker. And then when you see you up in there, how can you explain the reaction? And what was your reaction when? First of all, how do you hear about it? Who sends it to you that you're like, what?
I think one of the homies sent it to me. Yeah, one of the homies. You know, all the little homies, they're tapped in with all that shit. So one of them sent it to me, and I seen that shit. My first reaction was just like, damn, what the like? It was cool, but at the same time, it was just like, oh, like they really know what they know, you know. So. But shout out to that page though, you know, like
that guy has way too much information. I don't know who you're talking to, fool, but sick ass fool.
Shout out to you, dog.
Yeah, shout out.
Homework. I mean,
yeah, that's a real page. Yeah. And then actually, you were featured on two of his,
Yeah.
because you were featured on the south side and the east side,
Yeah.
because your neighborhood obviously goes to the east side,
Yeah.
so that's
Yeah. Well, put me in the east side, and then after I guess they did more of their homework, and they were like, this dude's from the south side, you know.
Yeah.
So then they put me in the south side one too. But like I said, it was cool to see, but at the same time, it's just like, oh shit, like they really know what they know, you know. So
That tripped me out. I got like 8 texts that morning,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, fool, look
Yeah.
at this timestamp," and I'm
For
like,
sure.
"Huh?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So when does the Donut Hunt in LA the hood vlog come?
So Don Hunter tapped in with me probably after that dude did that video and put all the hoods.
Yeah,
I think that's how he found me. Honestly, I don't remember, but yeah, Don Hunter tapped in and he was just like, oh, I want to do something with you. Hey, shout out Don Hunter though, he's a real one. He pulled up, he showed mad love. You know, he hooked me up with some merch, um, and he just did everything out the quota. You know, like he just wanted to.
yeah.
All he wants to do is see homie shine, you know. Like I don't think that homie expects anything from anybody, you know. All he wants to do is homie shine. I see what he's doing now, you know. Like takes everybody that he thinks is gonna do good, and he tries to blow them up as much as he could, you know. Like I don't think he asked for anything in return. I wouldn't know, but he didn't ask me for anything in return. All he wanted was my time, and to do what we got to do, you know. So like, let's get it, you know. So shout out to him. We did that. We did a little bush bread video. That shit was bush though, because we didn't have the proper ingredients for all that, you know. So it was just like what we got right here in the homies pad, dog. Like what we got, popped out whatever we had, and we just did what we did, you know. But that's what that was right there. So shout out to the.
No, most definitely that. I think that's another thing that really people see your face on, because you start seeing you. That's why, like, even if people aren't too familiar with your work, they start seeing your face, like,
Right,
you
yeah.
know, certain things. Um, so then you start working on more music, right? So what comes after? What comes after Just Touchdown?
I wanted to do a lot of features, bro. Honestly, you know, because I had just got out. So like I said, I already had a little traction. There's nothing major, you know, but I see a lot of dudes that were out here doing their thing, you know. So it was just like, let's try to get some features in, you know. Let's see if I could tap in with their fan base, tap in over here, tap in over there, you know.
Yeah.
And it's working out pretty good, you know. But I do want to do more solo, and that's where me and the homie Rare, shout out to Rare, we're gonna start working on that EP, you know. So just me solo, no features, nothing, you know. So
That's most definitely. I know you're working on that. Can you talk to me a little bit about that project that you're doing with Rare?
right now I'm still working on it, but we got a few beats in already. I'm done with probably like 5 of them, but we're trying to get in like what 10 of them, or how many, like 10s? Or
Yeah,
8
like
of
a
them?
good
Yeah,
10.
like 10 of them. We could get
Picking
like
up
10 of them.
executive produced by Dodger
Yeah,
Spencer.
hey, shout out Dodger. It's the boy right here.
You know what I'm
It's the boy.
saying?
He shows love.
Nah, most definitely. Our very good friend. He just told me that I don't know if you knew this, but me and him back in the day actually started like a record label where I was supposed to be the artist. So like when we kind of when things happened and he went away when he caught that case and with my thing or whatever, we kind of just stopped for a little bit, but now we're back up. So it's always kind of just been the mission just to help the homies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys for real.
With that being said, I do like the features you have been doing. So Time Zone was probably one of the ones that now I know I give you shit about it, like because I think you're very talented, fool, and you need to be doing a lot more music by yourself. Honestly, it's just so people could see what you can do.
Right.
Because that way nobody could go back and be like, oh, it was just because of this feature. It was just because of this feature. Because regardless, fool, you get off. Like you are very talented in what you do, dog. That's why I'm I'm an advocate for good music, fool, and like good souls. So just keep your head on straight and don't go back to jail, porfa.
That's not the plan.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's not the plan.
But I the Time Zone is probably one of my favorites, and then you did the one that just came out, the Too Cold, right? So and that was with the homie from Linwood.
I was with the homie from Linwood. That's their homeboy right there.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to the homies from Linwood. Shout out to Madison boys. We out here. Doing
Oh yeah, shout out to the homies from Segundo. Those, yeah.
Yeah, they show a lot of love.
The boy Peanut. That's the boy right there. Yeah.
Shout out Menace. Shout out Young True. Shout out the homie J Robin. Shout out Turtle. These homies right here, like they look out a lot. You know what I mean? So right now we all working together, trying to for the same thing. You know, it's the same vision. We all got the same vision, so we're gonna do what we gotta do. You know.
Nah, dog. One thing for sure is just keep working at it, fool. You're in a good space right now, and obviously, you know, I'm gonna do whatever I can to help you. You have a good team around you, fool. Stay in the studio,
Yeah,
big
now
dog.
I do. Now I have a good team. I didn't always have a team. That's the thing, though. You know, and that's where it was kind of hard, bro. Because when you're doing it by yourself, it's like all the money you put into all this, the studio time, the videos, all that ain't cheap. You know, so doing it by yourself, like a lot of dudes are so consistent with it. You know what I mean? And that shit cool as fuck when you could be that consistent. But I feel like when you're that consistent, either you have the money for it or you got a good team behind you. You know, so,
Or a mixture of both.
or a mixture of both. You know, so,
You know what I'm saying? That's
for
obvious.
a long time, like I was doing it by myself. So like as much as I want to be consistent, it's like you got bills to pay at the end of the day. You know, you got responsibilities. You got
Hell
all
yeah.
types of shit you gotta do. You know, so then the homies came into the picture. Like, bro, we're right here. We'll help you out too. Like, there's a lot of people that believe in what I'm doing. You know, and I appreciate them for that. You know, so anybody who's willing to help and support, like, just let's get it. You know, shout out to the homies for that. So now I have these fools rolling with me all the time, and they help out with whatever they can, you know, like whatever I need, like they right there for it, you know, and there's not a lot of solid homies like that are willing to do that, you know what I mean? So shout out to the homies for that.
Nah, most definitely, dog. Just obviously whatever you need of me, you know, we're
Exactly. And you're another one too, like that's what I'm saying, like homies like you, homies like them, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I appreciate you guys to the fullest.
Nah,
you know what I
most
mean?
definitely,
Like, that's
dog.
all love right there, you know, like when somebody does it out of the Cora, like that's where like that's what's up, you know, and that's where you know we still got good homies around, you know, because a lot of homies just be like, I don't give a worry about me, you know, and that's cool. You could do that too. Sometimes that is the way to go too, you know, because like there's a lot of janky shit going on, you know, nowadays.
Fool,
you know,
you're
so-
telling me, big dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the how where I be swerving around through. So
Yeah.
so you know all the funny characters that I come across, and that's the biggest thing, dog. Just keep your head down. Keep working, fool. I'm gonna try to keep you as busy as I can with what I can with.
Sure.
Same thing with the homies over here. Just keep them busy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need of me, obviously I'm gonna help you with what I can. You know what I mean? You already know the plan from here on out. But with that being said, is there anybody you want to shout out right now before we?
Man, just of course the double S. Shout out to double S, Southside Cam. Shout out the East Side too for sure. It's
Hell
one
yeah.
gang. That's what it is. It's one gang, all sides, all cliques. You know what I mean? Shout out the homies from Linwood too. Shout out Madison boys. Everybody doing their thing. You know, just keep grinding. That's what I'm gonna keep doing. Just keep pushing. If it happens, it happens, and if it don't, I don't really give a. You know, like I'm still doing what I do. It's not stopping me from, you know, taking care of business. So.
There's a bunch of different things that kind of show you that it's not for nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
There's
yeah.
signs there, so
see
don't think is not. There's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, hey, shout out to all the camaradas. You know who you are. Rest in peace, Chito. Rest in peace, Lil Man. Shout out all the homies.
Yeah.
Um,
And for sure, shout out my four dubs too. Like those are my boys right there.
Yeah.
That's another clique from my hood, but those are a gang of little homies just always right there, you know.
Serio?
Support.
Shout out the little homies right now, the activated ones right now.
Activated ones, you know.
With that being said, this has been another episode of Kicking It With My Homeboy. Go ahead and follow us at Eyekon TV. Press the follow button. Go ahead and follow my homie Pkayy. Can you spell it out from your Instagram?
It's __ PKAYY 96.
And then follow me at my homeboy Dodger. Follow the Madison boys. Follow everybody that's affiliated to this young man. I'm excited to see what's held in the future. Because we're about to turn it up, big dog. So just do me a favor and keep your foot on the gas, huh?
Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you.
Of course, big. You already know, perro.